Hi Cancer, come on in. Just in time for your Cancer April 2020 reading. I just spent about the last hour doing prayer and meditation for my Cancer subscribers. So I think during this month you're going to have a lot of healing energy coming towards you. A lot of very, very strong energy from the Spirit giving you comfort and peace and relaxation. So I look forward to that. Now let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, by the way, I've done a couple of readings for you Cancer folks. Now you know who you are since last month, and thank you also for recommending me to your friends. That's a great vote of confidence, and I appreciate that. Of course, I do readings for people from all over the world, and in the last month, for a YouTube audience, I've been doing FaceTime and Skype readings for people in the United States, in Canada, in Great Britain, in Ireland, in South Africa, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, France, Italy, Germany, Greece, among other places. So I look forward to doing those. Now I've set the time aside so you get in pretty quick. So that's always good as well, getting within a few days, isn't it? So let's see what there is in store for you now. And if you would like to have a private reading, just check out the description box. And that's got my contact details and website on there, so you can have a quick look at that. Now let's see what there is in store for you for this month. There's the Devil. Lovely Devil card, that. The Ten of Swords. The Nine of Cups. Very interesting. The Queen of Wands. You are going to love the artwork on this. And there's the Sun, and we're going to have a good close look at it, you and I together. I'll bring a lamp over so that we can get a good close look at the imagery on it. Now, you told me in last month's video that you'd like to see 3 playing cards at the end quickly. So I'll do them for you now. And let's see what they are. The King of Clubs, the Two of Diamonds, and the Ten of Spades. Okay, as usual, come down, sit down next to me so we can have a little bit of one-on-one time together, hey? And have a look at these cards together. All right, Cancer, let's have a look here. Where are we going to go first? Well, one of these was pulled out first, so I think we'll have a look at it. And here is the Devil. Well, the Devil is a particularly good card for me. Now, I have a lot of Capricorn around this card, so you may have something to do with Capricorns during this period. The Lord of the Gates of Matter. It is, for me, Capricorn ruled by Saturn with Mars exalted, but it's Mars exalted which shows its best form, the fiery material energy of creation. This card can also, I think, represent tunnel vision, and it's usually directed at some material goal. It can relate to career or an ambition or looking after your own best interests, and it implies that you can accomplish a lot if you are focused, and the Devil isn't distracted by other things. He's only focused on the thing at hand. Now, astrologically, Capricorn is the sign of business, career, worldly success, social standings, and Capricorns usually are hard workers and high achievers, aren't they? I think we could say that. Let's pull it out and see him in connection with the others. I think what we can also see here is that there is perhaps, I'm just getting a feeling that perhaps you may feel restricted or imprisoned by life or by a situation that appears to you to be out of your control. But with all these other cards that are around here, I can say this: you have more influence over the situation than you think. Now, I will say this, and don't take it the wrong way, but check for any addictions that could be stopping you from enjoying your life to the full. I think there is the need for you to accept that you do have an ambitious side, but see it for what it is without becoming a slave to it. You have, I think, a strong desire to compete during this period, to improve and to win, but keep a balance between the material side of your life and your emotional and spiritual life. I think it can also say that I'm getting the feeling here that you might find that you are very sexually attracted to somebody. Now, that may be something that you play out in reality, or it may be something that remains within your fantasy life. I think you might ask yourself this: do you have some wish or desire that you don't admit to? And I have these thoughts in mind, and that is, I am a vital, joyful, and grounded person. I enjoy my sexuality. Whether any problems are real or imagined, I can handle them realistically and with good humor. That is the energy that's coming up to me for you this month. Let's have a look. Underneath the devil is the Queen of Wands. Let's have a look at her. There she is. Yeah, here she is sitting down here. She's holding a jaguar. Do you know, the jaguar is a powerful totem in South America, where it is the spirit of the jungle. A shaman or a witch will be accompanied by him when traveling into the other worlds for strength and for protection. The shaman can even partially become the jaguar, a shapeshifter, if you like. Now, the queen here, I think, is the mistress of the internal jungle and internal energy, the dark forest one must often traverse in the suit of wands. As the king is the master of external sun energy, she is the mistress of the internal and eternal fire, the flame in the temple of your own body. Now, on the top here, she wears a shard of obsidian on her headdress. Obsidian is a volcanic glass, and besides being used as a fine weapon, a spear tip, or a very sharp knife, it can be polished smooth into a mirror with which one can see themselves. She shows you yourself, the greatest gift you can receive. She provides a safe, warm, and abundant environment where you can grow from a small cub into a powerful jaguar yourself, mistress or master of your own internal forest. She helps you develop yourself into your full potential with a clear vision of yourself, even if it is sharp, your growth and creativity. Now let's pull her out a bit so we can see her with everything else and talk about her in context of the other cards. Look, I have to say I'm getting a lot of Aries and Pisces around this card, and the reason is that I think that she also has the spirituality and sensitivity of Pisces with the ambition of Aries. And weren't we seeing that ambition coming up here for you as well? But that combination of spirituality and ambition, Pisces and Aries, can lead to something of a rough ride. Pisces giving her sensitivity and inspiration, and Aries giving her leadership and self-confidence. Now, I think what this is saying for you is that you will be very adaptable, that you'll have a lot of persistent energy, a sort of calm authority. And I have to tell you, you are going to make a very powerful first impression during this period. You are going to be very attractive to other people. She can be generous, but I think she can also be intolerant and impatient with opposition. She has immense capacity for friendship and love, but generally at her initiative. In some respects, this can be seen as, and maybe something for you to guard against, something of a, for her anyway, something of a self-complacent vanity, even snobbery. Now, she can brood and come to the wrong decision as a result and react with savagery. She can be quite quick to take offense and harbor revenge without good cause. And when she does react with savagery, she can then sometimes find that she is followed by periods of almost a sort of a depression or a real down feeling, which she can tend to self-medicate with alcohol or drugs or food. Now, I think what it is saying for you is that you will be going through a process of self-discovery and remembering your power. You got to where you are by resolving difficulties in the past, and now you're a stronger character. This is a time for you to express your natural power and beauty and move on from the past. She knows what she likes. This is talking about something of an active life for you during this period. And as I say, you are going to find that you will be beating them off with a shovel because you're going to be very attractive to other people. I think I might... I'm looking at these cards here. You pulled this Ten of Swords. It's being very much influenced by these two cards here, which are very positive. And I'm going to talk about the Ten of Swords. It's obviously come here for a reason. There's a Ten of Spades down here, which I'll get to in a moment. I think there's a thought that you're having about other people here, but let's see what it says. The first way to see what is happening here is to consider the astrology. Now, in this position, which is up here and above the sun, I see it as the sun ruling the third decanate of Gemini, that 12th to the 20th of June. Now here, the sun in Gemini is difficult because Gemini tends to disperse the sun's energy, and it can also disperse your focus on things. This is coming here, I think, to act as a sort of a warning for you that there may be thoughts going on in your mind and not to be trapped by your own thoughts. The focus is really entirely on the intellect here, and it is unstable because it's in the 10, as the 10 is about to go into the next suit, and it will then turn into the Ace of Discs, which is a tremendously fortunate card. I have to say that when this card comes up like this, it's possible that you might be even looking at your greatest fears, and you might ask yourself, what would, because sometimes you can imagine the worst in things and ask yourself, well, what would actually be the case if the greatest catastrophe ever happened? What would be your situation as a result of that? Things are never as bad as you think. And you should say to yourself, I invite the positive into my life and welcome it wholeheartedly. Do you know, there is an angel, a consciousness, a center of consciousness, which surrounds the energy of this card for me. And that angel's name is Kaliel. And the name Kaliel substitutes for the word of Lord in a book of the Old Testament or Hebrew Bible called the Book of Psalms. Now, chapter 35, let's pull this out now, let's have a look. I'm pretty sure it's chapter 35. Let me get my memory banks going up here. Yes, chapter 35, verse 34, which says, "Take up my cause, O Lord my God, as you are beneficent, and let them not rejoice over me." Now, meditating on that verse, you will invoke assistance in the face of some adversity. The auspicious time to do that really is between 5:40 a.m. and 6 a.m., and it allows knowledge of truth to surface and innocence to triumph. Abundance, fruitfulness will fill your being. There's also the power of procreation associated with this for me. You know, sometimes thoughts that we have and we ruminate on, they can be the result of things that we have done or said or been involved in, which gives us some cause of regret in our mind anyway. And I'll say this, because this is the energy that's coming up with the card placed here, with this card here influencing it, and the sun, and with the devil across here as well. The energy that's coming through very much is saying this: despite what you may believe, you can disappoint people and still be good enough. You can make mistakes and still be capable and talented. You can let people down and still be worthwhile and deserving of love. Everybody has disappointed someone they care about. Everyone messes up, lets people down, makes mistakes, not because we're inadequate or fundamentally inept, but because we are imperfect and we are fundamentally human, and expecting anything different is setting yourself up for failure. Nobody is perfect. Now you've got these fantastic cards here. I'm going to deal with this one first because it really does follow and it underpins this card. Let's have a look at it. The sun. Well, the Lord of the fire of the word. Now, astrologically, as you would expect, it is closely associated with the sun and esoterically with the Egyptian sun gods. The sun is the source of life and it represents success and abundance, and this is going to follow you in your life. It's going to follow you. The energy of the sun is going to get you through tough times. And I'm looking at that 10 of swords there, of course. So have no fear. Embrace your goals and give it everything you've got. If you've had a tough time, and I think perhaps you have, things are going to get better. In a sense, kind of be like a child and remove layers of negativity that are overlaying you. You know, if you were to ask a toddler of 2 years old, what layers of negativity do you have? They wouldn't know what you were talking about. They see each day afresh, each day as an adventure, each day as a celebration of life itself. And that is what you should do. You will be able to move mountains. I think it's also quite possible that you're going to hear of marriage in this time. I think marriage is around. I'm getting that feeling for you in that sense there. I think what it's also saying is that the fulfillment of your wishes is possible here and now. And I'm coming to this card after this. Relax and give yourself up to the dance. The right partners will find each other. Now, what task or project is on the agenda for you? Visualize the light and warmth of the sun in your chest and heart for the next few days. Remind yourself several times daily that the sun and the divinity is shining in and through you. I'd have these thoughts in mind, and they are, I am in harmony with the divine light which fills and guides me. I work well in teamwork situations. I enjoy making contributions towards group effort. I am a confident and cooperative and useful, very useful person. I am unique. Let's have a look here. The 9, where are you? 9, maybe pull you out a little bit because you've got quite a lot going on, haven't you? Well, for me, he's shouting out that I am the Lord of material happiness. And I get that feeling that he's right, because I see Jupiter in the second decan of Pisces, that 1st to the 9th of March. Now, Jupiter in classical astrology rules Pisces, and so there's very strong complementary energy associated with the astrology of this card. Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with Pisces spirituality. Jupiter also brings luck and happiness. Jupiter's softer concerns, such as care, compassion, and the spiritual life, put you out there, they come together beautifully, and they are expressed beautifully through sensitive Pisces. There is an enormous capacity to love, although, as is so often with this gift, this is often hard won through lots of difficult times in the past. Look, don't worry about this card here, because this is saying, in confirmation of the messages coming from the sun, that your wishes are going to be granted. There's abundance, there's a reward for your effort, and there is a very bright future for you. This is going to be a fantastic month for you. A fantastic month. You know, in a sense, this is really the wish card. Your wish is going to be fulfilled. Peace and calm is going to be restored to you. It's a card of fulfillment, and particularly in fulfillment of emotion. Well, let's have a look at some of these things, shall we? And see what they have to say. We have here first, let's have a closer look at him. Who is it? Oh, it's the King of Clubs. You know, very often this is someone represented by this card as that of a leader, sort of a card of virtue. It represents a highly intuitive man who will not compromise his integrity or his inner truth. Now, this can be a relative or a friend. He is generally honest, open, and generous. Now, of course, in my private readings, it depends how he's fixed with other cards around him, but that's the general message that's coming through from him. Then we have the Two of Diamonds. Well, this two for me here is all about interaction, about cooperation, about partnership, about doing things together. Very much also the card of investing in things, usually money, and usually it's good news related to finance. Certainly good luck in finances, investments, and when this appears, there's often the chance of something of a windfall. That is, the receipt of maybe a lottery win, a small lottery win, or a gift, or something material that you weren't expecting to get, but there it is. For love, it can represent a fulfilling love affair, but one which may sometimes attract the disapproval of other people. It also talks about a beneficial relationship, with money being the thing that holds the partners together. Well, let's talk now about this 10 of Spades. Well, the 10 is the end of a cycle. I also get the feeling here of abroad or of foreign. Maybe you're having dealings with people who live abroad from you, or who come from abroad, or foreigners. It can sometimes be the card which brings with it some anxiety, grief, worry, and I think it's anxiety and grief and worry that you have about somebody else. I think it might be because of perhaps the health of somebody else is what I'm getting here. Health issues can arise. It can sometimes refer to unwelcome news. Now, that's not unwelcome news relating to you, but of course you hear something bad bad that's happened or someone else is going through, and it creates in you something of a worry or a concern. I think what we can also say about this card here and how it's presented is it can sometimes represent fear of change, but change is one of the only things that we can count upon in life, and so don't be afraid. Certainly in your spread here, you have so much good going on that this is a fantastic month for you. Well, that's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go, another month done, and I trust you enjoyed receiving that reading as much as I did providing it to you. I've got to say this, that you were absolutely outstanding throughout the entire course of the reading, and it was a great pleasure to provide it to you. But I want you to remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, bye for now.